This episode of Nerdist News is sponsored by Borderlands 3. The Star Trek Picard trailer is hitting fans in the feels. It's been almost 20 years since we last saw Jean-Luc Picard grace our screens in 2002's Star Trek Nemesis. While the franchise has come a long way since then, including a new comedic animated series that we got a glimpse of at this year's Comic-Con, most of the offerings have focused on prequels or alternate timelines instead of moving forward in the prime television timeline. So, when it was announced in 2018 that we were getting a brand new Star Trek series that focuses on Jean-Luc reclaiming the bridge after he retires from Starfleet, fans were figuratively over the moon. And when Trekkers and Trekkies finally got their first glimpse of the series in the form of a teaser in Hall H at Comic-Con on Saturday, it appears there wasn't a dry eye in the house. While there are literal generations of Star Trek fans, for many of them, Picard is their captain, and like his Resican flute, this teaser really hits all the right notes in the nostalgia department. We actually had to send away one of our producers while we filmed this because his open weeping was the only thing we could hear on the microphone. So, what does this teaser tell us about the new series? Well, in it, we see Picard trying and seemingly failing to enjoy his retirement from Starfleet at his vineyard, the aptly named Chateau Picard, a vineyard that has been in his family for at least a generation or two. In any event, the adventure comes calling for Jean-Luc when a young woman comes to him seeking help. There's something mysterious about her, of course, but she trusts Picard. He then tries to get help through official Starfleet channels, and when that appears to fail, it looks like he decides to take matters into his own hands by forming his own crew to tackle the problem head-on himself, just like we'd expect from the Starfleet veteran. In addition to this central mystery, the trailer is full of references to other bits of Trek history. There are lots of Romulans and Vulcans, and the series seems to take place after the supernova that destroys the Romulan homeworld, as seen in Spock Prime's memories in J.J. Abrams' 2009 Star Trek film. The first teaser even mentions Picard commanding the greatest rescue armada in history, which we take to mean him trying to evacuate Romulus. The Romulans have had such a rich shared, if contested, history with Picard, so it will be very interesting to see how this relationship has developed in time. And of course, we have to mention another big-time adversary of Picard's, the Borg. And this teaser does more than just hint at their return in some way with the inclusion of a Borg cube that looks to be under construction or perhaps being repaired. We also see armed Romulans guarding prisoners with a sign that reads, "This facility has gone 5,843 days without an assimilation." Could the Romulans be trying to bend Borg technology to their own will? We can't see that going well, or Picard being okay with that once he learns of it. No! But Jean-Luc Picard doesn't only have enemies, he's made a lot of friends during his voyages through the galaxy. A main one being the android who wants to be more human, Data. The trailer talks about how Data sacrificed himself to save his crew during the events of Star Trek Nemesis and shows shots of an android body similar to Data's, whether it is the deconstructed body of his brother Lore or his own recreated body remains to be seen. But fans will remember that before he died, Data downloaded his consciousness into a prototype of himself named B4. And when the trailer ends, we even get a glimpse of Data in the flesh playing cards with Picard, which is seemingly a callback to the finale of Next Gen, and sorry, our entire crew has to take another crying break. We also get another Star Trek alum in Voyager 7 of 9, played by Jeri Ryan. It appears here that she's part of what galvanizes Picard into action, and fans can't wait to see how they will interact with each other. Both characters have survived the process of being assimilated into the Borg collective, another blatant hint that the Borg are back in a big way. Speaking of guest stars, while they didn't pop up in the trailer, it was revealed at the Hall H panel that Marina Sirtis and Jonathan Frakes will appear in the series, reprising their roles as Troy and Riker, who we last saw leaving the Enterprise to take up command on the USS Titan. And as we said before, fan reaction has been overwhelmingly positive to this trailer. One only has to take a passing glance at Twitter to see that. At Trekkie Girls asks, "Is this the reaction gif we're all looking for?" At David C. Roberson had this very understated take. "This is so exciting, I'm in my house screaming myself hoarse, holy freaking crap." And we were all at Hoshi9 Zoe, who simply said tears, literal tears of joy, or as our own executive producer at the B Comp said, "I'm crying into my beard." And that's all the tea Earl Grey hot that was spilled during the Comic-Con Hall H panel about Picard. We cannot wait until the show premieres sometime in early 2020. But what do you folks think? Will you engage your CBS All Access account to catch Picard when it premieres? Who are you the most excited to see in the show? Data, Seven of Nine, Riker? And did you stock up on enough tissues before you watch the trailer? Make it so. Thanks again to Borderlands 3 for sponsoring today's episode. The original shooter looter is back and bigger than ever. With 4 all-new Vault Hunters and over 1 billion guns, it's time to lock, load, and loot. Pre-order Borderlands 3 now so you can play when it drops on Xbox One, PS4, or PC on September 13th. Let's make some mayhem!